Yes, and disappointed that someone would kill for such a minor piece.
So this Hobbs guy, good friend of yours, is he?
No, we simply have a business arrangement. We've been through this already. Now please, if you're quite finished, I'm a busy man.
Thank you for your time, Monsieur Medovsky. We'll be in touch soon.
Well, no prizes for guessing where we go now.
Hobbs' place, right?
Got it in one. Medovsky's pretty shady, don't you think?
He bought our act, though. You make a pretty good insurance man, Georges.
Yeah, who'd have thought it?
By the time he realizes we're not assessing his claim, we'll have cracked the case and be toasting our success.
Here's hoping. Looks like rain.
Come on, let's get that cab. Taxi!
I think we just stepped off the London tourist trail.
I guess this Hobbs character doesn't like visitors.
Not the kind of place you'd expect to find a restorer of old masters.
Unless you didn't want to attract attention.
He's attracted ours. Let's see what Mr. Hobbs knows about La Maledicción.
And let's try and get a look inside that portfolio.
The door was locked. Looking through the window, I could see that there was nothing in the van. Hobbs must have taken the portfolio inside. Slasha. I decided to leave the handbrake alone. Piles of junk, mostly boxes of old paints and scraps of picture frames. Mixed in were wires, cardboard, and some dubious-looking old clothes. George Stobart.
Ah, Monsieur Stobart. I trust you have obeyed my instructions not to leave Paris.
Of course, Inspector.
Good. You clearly know which side your cookie is buttered. Now, I require your presence tomorrow at the murder scene for a reconstruction.
I see.
12 o'clock sharp, monsieur. Or, as you would say, high noon.
Sure.
Any failure to comply, and I shall have you extraordinarily rendered. Have a nice day now.
And you. That was Nave. We're required back at the gallery tomorrow for a crime scene reconstruction.
Let me guess. Non-attendance is a criminal offense?
You got it. The large dumpster was full of garbage. It was Hobbs's mailbox. There was a note hanging out. For a second, I debated the morality of mail snooping. It was a short debate, and I won. I decided to open the letter. Dear Mr. Hobbs, due to previous incidents, we are writing to inform you that we will no longer be sending models to your address. It went on to discuss Hobbs's temper and other alleged infractions, some of which still carry the death sentence in certain less sophisticated cultures. Interesting. There was a light on up above, and I could hear music playing. Someone had to be home. Climbing drain pipes was something I preferred to avoid, unless I had a great reason to do so. Climbing drain pipe, unless I... I don't think Hobbs can hear us. Climbing drain pipes was something I... Unless... I'd pounded that door until my hand hurt. We were going to have to find another way to attract Hobbs's attention. Not a sound. The horn wasn't working. I'd need the keys to start the engine. I had no reason nor any desire to steal Hobbs. I popped open the van's hood. That was almost a great idea. Almost. The van's hood was already open. It was the lever to open the hood. The van's hood was... The horn wasn't... The van's hood... I'd need the keys to... I had no reason... The van's hood was already open. The door was locked. Looking through the window, I could see that there was nothing in the van. The van's hood was already open. The van's hood was... The van's hood was all... The van's hood was all... The, the horn... The horn... That wasn't worth... I needed a better... The van's hood was already open. The engine was held together by rust and dirt. Everything was covered in a sticky film of dirty black oil. Half the wiring wasn't connected to anything. It was clear why the horn hadn't made a noise. Neither hornpipe was connected to either the battery or the cab. It was one of two horns in the van. It didn't seem to be connected to anything else under the hood. Two wires hung loose from it. A loose wire hung from the left-hand horn. If I had some spare cable, I could connect it to the wires from the cab. It was one of two horns in the van. It didn't seem to be connected. It was the van battery. I needed to hook this up to the horn somehow. A bundle of short, severed wires was connected to the battery. None of the wires were connected to anything. It was the van's engine. I didn't really have any reason to sabotage it. It was the van's engine. It was the van's engine. A loose wire hung from the horn. If I had some spare cable, I could connect it to the other horn. A bundle of wires came into the engine bay from the dashboard. Many of the wires seemed to lead nowhere. I had found just what I needed. 2 lengths of wire. The engine bay was a mess. I connected the wires from the cab to the horn. That would be pointless. The horn wasn't working. The wire just reached across. It'd be crazy to cut. I hoped this wouldn't cut short my plan. I connected the wires from the cab to the horn. That wouldn't make any sense. The wire was just long enough to connect the battery to the horn. Everything was wired up. The horn had power. I figured that should get Hobbs' attention.
All right, hold your bloomin' horses. What are you up to with my van?
Hello there. We fixed your horn.
So I hear. Now what are you doing in my yard?
Sorry to bother you again, Mr. Hobbs, but... Well, that could have gone better.
He's not exactly the friendliest of characters.
I'd already jerry-rigged the... I decided to give it another blast.
For crying out loud, will you leave my van alone?
Sorry, just need a quick word, Mr. Hobbs. Sorry to bother you again, Mr. Hobbs, but...
There must be some angle we can use to talk our way inside.
Climbing drain pipes was something I preferred to avoid, unless I had a great reason to do so. I'd already jerry-rigged... I decided to give it another blast.
You two again? What is it this time?
Hello there. We'd like to discuss some restoration work with you.
Then make an appointment. I'm busy.
This is crazy. We need to get in there and take a look around.
We need a good cover story.
I decided to give it another blast.
What now?
Mr. Hobbs, do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Yes, you will answer a few questions?
Yes, I do mind. Clear?
Not really.
Good. Now get lost.
This is crazy. We need to...
We need...
I decided to give...
What now?
Afternoon, Mr. Hobbs. We're from the model agency.
About blooming time. I'm on a deadline. You better come up. About time you two showed up.
Hello, Mr. Hobbs. I was just wondering if...
Can it, Goldilocks? I don't have time for chit-chat. Just get undressed behind that screen.
Undressed?
That was the deal. An extra 20 quid because I need you with your kit off.
The studio was freezing.
And as for you, darling, no need to get undressed. I've got a vivid imagination, so I'll just use that. Either way, just go sit over there on that rug and give me your best belly pock floozy. That's perfect. Just hold it there.
Nico made for a good distraction. I just needed to figure out how to get a look inside that portfolio. A variety of liquor bottles, all empty.
Hey, I'm still drinking that.
I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. I didn't need to sit. It was time for action.
Hey! Leave that dial alone. The heating gobbles up all the power and the circuits can't take it.
Sorry. I turned the thermostat down again. How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Thanks, but I've already got a glassful. Hi, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to take a look at some of your pictures. You're very good.
I know, and that portfolio is private. I'm not paying you to gawp around my studio. Get your blooming clothes off!
Sorry. Wow, an old Bofson Wang stereo. I hadn't seen one of those for years. Hobbs seemed to have a thing for 70s psychedelic jams. Burroughs, Dick, Rand. Hobbs liked his literature heavy and paranoid. The record had stopped. It was Jasmine Breeze by the Hairy Lobsters. I turned the volume up a few notches. I turned the volume up a few notches.
My, if it isn't George Stobart.
Lady Piermont. Oh, my. You're...
Naked? Of course. As an artist's muse, one often finds oneself en pelotas. Now, George, don't be shy. Come here and give me a big hug.
That day was the day the nightmares had begun. Trapped, smothered, choking on lavender.
George, darling, pass me my robe. It's terribly cold in here.
Oi, what are you doing with a blooming robe on? God help me, but you're supposed to be naked. I've got a deadline to meet.
Well, you won't be meeting any deadlines with manners like that. And besides, it's freezing in here.
Lady Piermont and I had met before. She was larger than life, in every way. Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against exploring behind the screen. So how are we going to get a peek inside that folder?
Perhaps your lady friend over there could help.
Lady Piermont? Well, she has many, assets, but subtlety isn't one of them.
Who said anything about subtlety? We need to distract Hobbs, and she's certainly distracted. No, excuse me, but you're casting a shadow.
Lady Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
I'll see what I can do. It was locked. I wondered what was behind the door.
Hey, stop meddling with that. The power's ropey enough as it is.
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted Hobbs, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole system.
Hey, I've told you don't mess with that thermostat.
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
Look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Oh, crumbs.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. They won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
I'd turned the thermostat up as far as it would go. I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage. I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. I had no need to walk out onto the balcony. I didn't need to sit. A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
Lady Piermont, we need your help.
How thrilling! What do you need? Subterfuge? Leisure domain?
Actually, I just need you to step onto that lift behind you.
Oh, but of course. Is this good, George, darling?
Perfect. Now, just stay right there.
Oh, not again. There we go. Now, back to work.
Lady Piermont was a good sport to ride that rickety old elevator for me.
Oh, not again. There we go. Now, back to work.
How about a top on, Mr. Hobbs?
Don't mind if I do. Oh, not again. There we go. Now, back to work. This is going to be one of those days.
A straw had broken the camel's back. Hobbs was very drunk.
I told you, keep your hands off that portfolio.
I'm sorry. How about another whiskey?
That's smashing. Pour away.
Now was my chance. It was one of Hobbs' sketches. That would...
One minute she's sweet as a light, next moment she's a fire and fight. Got me wondering, is it day or night? Baby, you're out of sight. She got right through my skin. I'm hooked so deep away. Okay, I lose, you win. So cool, thrilling.
It was one of Hobbs' sketches. Well, it wasn't La Maledictio, but it did appear to be a study for an element of the painting, the Ouroboros. There was something different about the image in the center. I figured the sketch might come in handy, so I took it.
What the heck are you doing with those? They're private papers.
Huh?
Well, that was fun. Just like when you were a private Dick, George.
So, you're not models?
No, Mr. Hobbs.
Well, you can't be a copper. You're not stupid enough. So what the blazes are you doing in my studio?
We're investigating the theft of a painting, La Maledictio, by the Spanish artist El Serp. One of these sketches is a study of that painting.
Well, sure, but what's that got to do with that? I'm a restorer, and I restored it. I've got nought to do with what happened after that painting left this studio. How was I to know it was going to get Henri killed?
Hang on a second. How do you know Henri's dead?
Look, he and I went back a long way. Le Lézard Bleu was on the ropes, so I got the painting into his exhibition. Nothing like this was supposed to happen.
We're not accusing you of anything, Mr. Hobbs. We just want to get to the bottom of this.
I get that, and I'll help you however I can, but this mess is way above my pay grade.
How come you needed to make so many sketches of the painting to restore it?
Restoration's not about throwing a load of paint around. It takes research. The Serp is a complicated painting. A lot of subtext, a lot of symbols.
Why would anyone want to steal La Maledictio? It's not exactly a famous painting.
True. Well, there is something special about it that's hard to describe. There's conviction in every brushstroke. Whoever El Serp was, he had a tale to tell. The symbolism is deeply religious.
We have reason to believe that Madovsky is mixed up in the theft of La Maledictio.
Eh? What would he gain from stealing his own painting?
We have strong evidence that Madovsky is not the real owner.
He'll have a hard time proving that. Medovsky has a full set of provenances for the painting. It traces its legitimate ownership all the way back to the painter.
Why didn't Madovsky mention him?
Because they're not with him. Henri's got them. Or had them.
And Henri is dead.
So ask his partner.
Lane?
Lane, yeah, Lane. Look, pal, you're wasting your time looking for conspiracies here. And you're wasting my time if you're not actually going to get naked. Go get the provenance from Lane, and everything will turn out hunky-dory.
But it also puts Marquez's story into question.
Not my problem, darling. Now both of you, get lost. I've got a painting to finish.
And we have a critic to interrogate.
Someone's lying, but who?
Is it the gangster or the old Spaniard?
The painter or the art critic?
I need to head back for Nave's reconstruction.
What about the evidence from Medovsky's house? Will you give it to Nave?
I think I should. And I can put the squeeze on Lane. Ask him about the provenance.
Good. I've got lunch with Ronnie tomorrow. This story is hotting up, and I want to make sure he keeps me on it.
Taxi! Here I was again at the crime scene. Inside the gallery, I could see lots of activity. Nave preparing for the reconstruction, no doubt. Nico and I had a good idea who the killer was. Now all we had to do was persuade Nave.
Sir, I already tried starting it up. I think it's broken.
Nonsense, Moo. This machine has the power of 10 investigators.
But investigators never fail to start up, sir.
Your pessimism is duly noted, Moo. But have faith. This machine will analyze the scene, compute the data, and deduce everything for us. The location of the second shooter will be a mystery no more. One moment.
A marvel indeed, sir, though at the moment it is kaput.
Your pessimism has obviously infected the circuitry, Moo. Let me think for a moment.
If I could just...
Shh! Eh bien, Moo, now try realigning the laser matrix.
Sir, I have no idea what that is.
Move over, Moo. Now, let me see. Oscillating reverberator? Check. Refraction spectrometer? Check. Now, what can I do? Ah, Monsieur Stobart, it's only you. Glad you could finally make it.
Inspector, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Oh, yes? I shall be the judge of that.
I think I know who the killer is.
Really?
Yep, he's a gardener called Shears living in London.
Fascinating. And the good news?
We don't need to do your reconstruction.
You joke with me, Monsieur Stobart.
It's not a joke. This guy Shears was working for a Russian ex-mobster. It's all part of a highly complex fraud.
Gardeners, KGB, fraud. You are a fantasist, monsieur. And I have no time for fantasy. Reality is my suitcase, as you Americans say. Now, stand over there and keep out of trouble until the others arrive.
Well, who are we waiting for?
Mademoiselle Collard and Father Simeon. Please, I am very busy. Ah, Moo, a clever choice. But no cigar for you. Try the red.
Mon Dieu!
Hobbs had sketched the Ouroboros from La Malediccio, but I didn't remember seeing that face. Lane.
Stobart.
What's the deal with that device over there?
It's a farce. They've been trying to get it working for hours.
Looks like something out of a 50s sci-fi movie.
It probably is.
What do you think of Nave?
The man is a buffoon. I have better things to do than wait for these idiots to get their forensic whatnot to work. The only silver lining is that Nave seems more annoyed than I am.
I gather you're the man to ask about the provenance for the painting.
For La Malediccio? Well, you have been busy, haven't you, Stobart?
I'd like to see it.
So speak to Bijou. She took care of the business side of the gallery. The provenance is in the office safe. She has the key.
Lane was a pushover when you had him cornered, though it looked like Bijou hadn't been completely honest with me after all. I needed to pay her another visit. What do you think of Moo?
Who?
The policeman with Nave.
I assume he's another idiot.
Why's that?
I believe one can tell a man by the company he keeps.
I'll bear that in mind, Mr. Lane. Okay, thanks.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I think we are ready to fire her up.
Yes, Moo, I was just about to say the same thing. Do it. Moo, what have you done?
Pardon me, sir, but I believe it was you who said,
This is no time for blame. You have broken the machine.
Mon Dieu.
Stupid. Monsieur Stobart, you will not leave until this is over. Understood?
But I just need to...
This is a reconstruction. You will remain here until I have concluded my investigations. Do I make myself clear?
Okay, clear. I considered making a run for it, but forcing Moo to chase me would have been cruel. And it would have been silly to risk my investigation. Better to play along with Nave and get the reconstruction over as quickly as possible. Inspector Nave. What seems to be the problem?
Monsieur Stobart, if Paris' finest cannot get this very expensive and very complex machine to work, then I doubt if an insurance salesman can...
I'm an insurance assessor, actually.
Oh, I see. Well, la-di-da to you, monsieur.
Oh, yeah? Well, la-di-da to you back.
Whatever. You are neither qualified nor clever enough to operate such an instrument.
Like us.
What was that, Moo?
I said, unlike us, sir.
Have you been a detective long?
Long enough, monsieur?
You've solved a lot of crimes, I guess.
More than you have had hot dinners?
Well, I've had a lot of hot dinners, Inspector.
Oh, yes? How many?
What?
Precisely how many hot dinners have you had, monsieur?
I don't know. Thousands?
You prove my point for me, monsieur. Precision and accuracy are everything.
You truly are a unique and amazing man, Inspector Nave.
Well, I'm glad you are impressed.
I was sure I could get the machine to work if I could just get Nave out of the way. Inspector Nave. Inspector Nave. I know this sounds obvious, but are you sure it's plugged in?
Monsieur Stobart, do you really think I would be so stupid as to not check the fundamentals?
We all make mistakes.
What a ridiculous generalization, monsieur. Look, I can see from here it's... Ah.
Do you need assistance, sir?
Very funny, Moo. One moment.
That got rid of him. Now is my chance. I was going to have to figure that out quickly. Time to get the show on the road.
See, Moo? I knew I would get it working.
I'm not sure that you...
Precisely. You knew my superior intellect would win through in the end.
Yes, sir. Sir, I beg your pardon, but I think there is a teeny snag.
Go on.
We have no victim.
Good God, Moo. Are you suggesting I kill someone for the sake of this reenactment?
No, sir. Just saying we need a body, sir.
Ah, yes. I see. You'll make a detective yet, Moo. I, of course, foresaw this, and I nominate you.
Me? Well, I'm not dead.
Have you ever acted, Monsieur Stobart?
Well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I went down a storm playing the lead in Cat on a Felt-Tip Roof last summer.
You played the cat?
No.
So, not the lead. Half-truths again, monsieur. Nevertheless, here is your chance to play a real lead role.
But he looks nothing like the victim, sir.
Oh, damn it, Moo. Must you find problems all the time? Let me think of a way to make this work.
Relying on Nave's problem-solving skills could mean a long, long wait. I had to find something to make me more like Henri. I'll have a look around. Maybe I'll find something.
Yes, you do that. Verisimilitude is the key, Stobart. Ah, you have arrived at last. Please, make yourselves comfortable. We are just making some last-minute adjustments.
Father Simeon, Nico.
Hi, George.
Welcome to the asylum.
Let me guess. Nave is overjoyed we've solved the case and he's putting us up for an award.
Not quite. I told him about Shears and Medovsky. He says it's fantasy.
But that's crazy.
Tell me about it.
So what do we do now?
Carry on anyway, and nail Medovsky.
What about Nave?
Ignore him.
And this charade?
The reconstruction? Well, sooner it starts, sooner it's over.
George, what on earth is that machine?
It's Nave's baby. Supposedly, it's going to analyze the crime scene and tell us what happened.
But we already know what happened.
Sure we do, but Nave doesn't.
Quiet, please! How can I concentrate with all this racket going on?
Lane was right. Nave was an idiot. The best place to find Henri's things was in his office. It was a statue of Henri. I opened the compartment again. I wasn't going to open the safe. Even Houdini would have had a hard time opening this safe with a coin. Using a paperclip to pick this lock would have been very impressive, if it had worked. It was a Some of the stuff must have been collecting dust. There was certainly nothing of any. On the head of the statue was a pair of Henri's glasses. Maybe, just maybe, the glasses would make me look like Henri. It was the pair of glasses I'd taken from Henri's statue. I've found Henri's glasses.
Stole or found? Never mind. That might just do it. Come on, everyone, into position. I want everyone to stand precisely where they were when the victim died.
This process is ridiculous.
God moves in mysterious ways, Father.
Indeed. And the devil makes work for idle hands, Mr. Stobart.
Shh! Stobart, you are supposed to be dead. Please be dead more quietly.
I tried to tell Navet the truth about his bloodstain.
Didn't he believe you? You're a man of God.
His faith is in science, Mr. Stobart, not God.
Father?
Yes, my son.
Do you think the machine will give the inspector some insight into Henri's murder?
He will find the answers he seeks, but he asks the wrong questions. This was no ordinary murder.
Do you think Inspector Navet will ever figure this out?
I'm not sure, although I'm no expert.
Yeah, neither is he by the looks of it. You keep talking about the Gnostics. Who are they?
They are a cult, a warped branch of Christianity that reveres Lucifer as equal to, or perhaps greater than, God.
I can see how that might trouble the Vatican.
The Vatican is the least of your worries. Please be quiet!
Last time we met, you said the stolen painting was evil.
Let me explain. I'm a Dominican, Mr. Stobart. The Dominican order was founded to seek out and destroy heresy.
Why?
Because heresy is evil.
Okay.
For 1,000 years we have fought against heresy. Our enemies gave us a nickname, the Hounds of God. Dominicanis, Dominican, you see?
Very clever.
Now this painting, the Benedictio, is without doubt heretical.
Whoa, hold on. How can a painting be heretical?
Because it is filled with Gnostic imagery, and Gnostics are heretics.
What kind of imagery?
Evil imagery. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. Images of false saints, heretical saints.
So you think the painting itself is evil?
It trails murder in its wake, Mr. Stobart.
And murder is police work, monsieur. Silence, please, both of you.
The Ouroboros, what exactly is it?
It is a Gnostic symbol. It marks something that is hidden. There are trees illustrated within the Ouroboros. They symbolize knowledge. So the Ouroboros alludes to hidden knowledge. The painting must be destroyed to stop this knowledge being revealed.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first set of results completed. Only 36 more to do. Please remain in position while we reset the machine. You may relax and talk amongst yourselves.
Who are these false saints?
Gnostic saints, not beatified by the Church. They question orthodoxy, lure the unwary down dark paths of forbidden knowledge, and condemn innocent souls to the fires of damnation.
You mean like a Black Sabbath album?
Vade retro satana.
What's the matter?
It is worse than I thought.
What is it? It's just a sketch.
Not just a sketch. The painting.
I wondered if it was something I'd said.
I have to get out of here. Now.
Father Simeon, I forbid you to leave. This is an official investigation.
Don't you understand? A great evil is upon us. The painting is evil. The heretical Gnostics in league with the devil himself.
The devil?
Don't you understand? The tabula veritatis, the tablet of truth. It is real.
Well, well, someone is upset. Pressing your witnesses a little too hard, Inspector Nave?
And you are? This is official police business?
Richard Langham, Interpol, serious art theft. We spoke on the phone, Inspector?
Ah, yes, sir. You didn't say you would be attending my crime scene.
What exactly is this machine, Inspector?
A little invention of mine, Monsieur Langham. It will compute whose blood this is on the floor, and...
Not to worry, Inspector. Perhaps you could move aside? I'm intrigued to see what you're up to.
Ah, of course. It is rather groundbreaking.
Pizza box. It looks like your suspect was a Hawaiian, Inspector.
A Hawaiian? Mon Dieu! Moo! Get on to the Hawaiian embassy straight away. There is a surf killer on the loose. Alert the airports and the surf shops.
Sorry, Inspector. I mean, Hawaiian pizza. Your blood stain is a pizza sauce.
Pizza? Moo! You fool! Forget the surf shops. Get on to the Italian embassy. This has mafia written all over it.
Nah, Inspector, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to your witnesses. And in the meantime, perhaps you should try and get your priest back. Madame Collard, Mr. Stobart, I assume. Can I buy you chaps a coffee?
Langham sounded a little more on the ball. Maybe he'd bring a dose of common sense to the case.
So, Inspector Nave brought me up to speed and told me about you guys.
I can guess what he said. But what's your interest in the robbery?
I've been tracking a gang of art thieves for some time, and this looked like a good lead. But Nave is worse than useless. I was hoping you might be able to help.
We're flattered.
Just doing our jobs.
We all are, or at least trying to. So, maybe we can help each other. I gather you insured the exhibition.
That's right, and we're liable to lose a packet.
Any leads so far?
Maybe. There's a Russian guy called Madovsky who turns out to be the owner of the painting.
Madovsky?
You know him?
Oligarch, oil, art, aluminium. Ex-KGB. Very nasty. You need to be careful. Madovsky's dangerous. He kills anyone who gets in his way.
For a cop, Langham seemed okay. Trouble with doing deals with cops, there's usually a payback down the line. But I figured that'd be a price worth paying to bring down Madovsky. We found evidence that links Medovsky to the company that installed the security at the gallery.
Interesting.
And one of his men, a guy called Shears, was in Paris on the day of the robbery.
Really?
We also found a letter from someone called Gainan wanting to buy the painting from Medovsky.
Gainan? The name rings a bell? Did you find anything else about him?
No, we were in a hurry.
What about the priest?
Ah, the good Father Simeon. Well, something spooked him, that's for sure.
So I gather.
He kept saying La Maledizio was evil.
Perhaps he's right. It certainly caused evil, hasn't it? I'll take leads from anyone, Mr. Stobart, even a crazy priest. Let's keep in touch. Thank you for your help. Coffee's on me, or rather, on Interpol. Miss Collard, Mr. Stobart.
So, George, what do you think?
Interesting. He seems to be on top of things.
I agree.
You know, Nico, this could start getting dangerous.
You think Langham's right about Medovsky?
Well, he appears to be on the ball.
I thought he was cute.
He was English, Nico. They're all cute to you.
Hidden depths, too.
Oh, yeah? Well, what about my hidden depths?
You showed me those long ago, Georges. Well, I'm off home to write up the story so far. You?
I have to see a woman about a dog. A stuffed dog, that is.
You're talking riddles again, Georges.
I need to pay Bijou another visit. She's not been completely honest with me.